Welcome back to Josh's Smart Home. And if you've either watched the last video or been following the channel for a while, then you certainly know that I am all about Home Assistant. But there's another side to this. There's actually devices that I have, that I utilize, and I love that either don't have a Home Assistant integration or it's just totally lacking, in my opinion. And that's what today's video is going to be about. I'm going to let you in behind the scenes on the top products that I utilize that do not integrate well with Home Assistant, in my opinion. If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you in and let you know that I've been building out my smart home for about 10 years now, and I want to share with you what I learned along the way to make your home smarter. So let's get to it. The first device I want to talk about, we need to head outside because we're going to be talking about the Yarbo robotic lawn maintenance device. This robot is amazing. It cuts your grass, it can patrol your yard, it can do towing, it can snow blow, and even snow plow. And if you have the attachment, it can blow leaves or other debris as well. I don't personally have the blower, but I have everything else, and this thing has saved me tons of time and is one of my favorite items. With that being said, there's no Home Assistant integration to this point. They've said in the past they plan to have it and they put it on their roadmap, but up to this date, there is no integration. Luckily, there's a pretty good app in Yarbo, and most of the things don't really need to connect into other devices either. So maybe you'd like it to say, don't detect pets in the area where it's mowing, because sometimes the AI will detect a pet when the Yarbo is moving around in the grass mowing it or something like that. But these are small inconveniences compared to the amount of time that I've saved with this device and the convenience where it can mow while I'm working or sleeping or snow blow while I'm across the country. That happened over the winter last year. It utilizes RTK GPS along with Halo, which is like an extended Wi-Fi to connect into your house. But if it gets too far away from our house or over the hills of the back of our property, it actually goes right onto the cellular network and communicates that way with the base. And it uses a triangulation to determine where it's at. So it can use the GPS all the time, and then it also has some vision and other assistance as well. So if it does lose the signal for any reason, maybe it's under some trees or something and can't see the sky, or maybe there's a storm or something blocking it, then you can utilize the vision to proceed as well in those gaps. So lots of great uses there. It's really a robust item thus far, and they're constantly making improvements. So the Yarbo is definitely one that I live with, despite the lack of Home Assistant integration at this point. We're going to pop back inside for the second item, and that is my Narwal Freo Z Ultra vacuums and mops. I have two of these devices, one on each floor of our house, and I've been really pleased with these. I know there's some newer models coming out, and I might look at some of those as well, because there is one in particular that Narwal has that has Matter integration, and there's a couple other companies that have integrations that work with Home Assistant as well. I know a lot of people look at Roborock or either Dreamy or a couple other ones as well to try to get that Home Assistant integration. Well, I don't care too much about the Home Assistant integration for the vacuuming and mopping. For the most part, I just want to set it, have it on a schedule, or tell it to go that day and go do its thing and not really interact with any of our other smart home devices. It doesn't need things like our iRobot used to, where you used total vision and didn't have any light sources on it. So I always would try to keep the lights on in the area that it was in, because this thing has integrated LEDs, so it lights its own way. So there's no real interaction I need with any other devices. Maybe it would be nice that when we come home it would shut off, but I want it to really finish its routine anyway, so not a huge inconvenience to me. The vacuuming and the mopping of this thing are really superior, because not only does it clean the mop heads with warm water to make sure that they're, not dirty when it's going back out, but it also dries those with some heated air or circulating air depending on your settings, so that you don't have those nasty smells in your base station. Super easy to take apart and clean as necessary, but you don't have to do that very often. For the most part, it goes back and it sucks out its own bag, so it doesn't have any residual trash, going around in the container there as it's continuing to vacuum, and it cleans its own mops. So what I have it set up as is every once in a while I need to replace either the mopping solution or the bag, or I need to add water and remove the old water that it utilized to clean the mops. but really, for the most part, it's set and forget. Not really necessary to have it integrated totally with our Home Assistant integration. For the third item, we're going to head back outside. And in this instance, it's another chore that I don't like doing. It takes tons of time. And this is cleaning the pool. Our Wybot S2 Solar does all the job for us. We don't have to worry about going out and manually cleaning the pool or going out and untangling the old robot that we used to have. The cord would get all tangled up, making sure it was plugged in but still not tangled. It was just a hot mess out there. Utilizing the sun to charge it, and then it goes based on our schedule. It's just so great. You can set it and forget it. Every once in a while, take it off and dump out the debris that it collects, but really not a lot of work there. So that thing has saved us tons of time, but it doesn't have a great Home Assistant integration. I found one, but the way I had it set up initially, utilizing my Apple account, I can't get it integrated into that particular integration because it needs an alternate form of connection into your account there. So like I said, I don't have it integrated at all in our Home Assistant, but this is one of them again where I don't really have a lot of other interactions. Maybe it would make sense that we interacted with our pool filter so that we didn't run it when the pool filter was on, because they advised that it's best when the pool filter is off to be running the Wybot. So there's one integration that may be useful, but for the most part, it's a set and forget type situation where we just wanted to maintain the cleanliness of our pool, and Home Assistant is not a must on this one. And for our last item, we're going to stay outside, and we're going to talk about some Govee lights. We have a lot of permanent outdoor lights, as well as some string lights from Govee. And in both of these instances, they do integrate with Home Assistant, but it's a really basic level, we'll call it, because it doesn't allow you to have all those different scenes or all the different program type items within Home Assistant. So if you're looking at simple on or off or solid colors, things like that, those you'd be able to do with Home Assistant. But I always want something special. Like if we have Halloween, I want a Halloween scene, and there's a couple to choose from. Sometimes I want to rotate through those. So what I do is when we get to the beginning of a season, I'll set what I want for that time or automate it within the Govee app, and then just have on and off based on the time of day or based on the sun rising and setting, those types of things. So I don't see it's a huge issue that everything's not in Home Assistant, but this is another device that mostly what I work with is outside Home Assistant, except for that simple on and off. So there you have it. 4 incredible smart home devices that I utilize despite the fact that they don't have Home Assistant integration, or at least not proper integration for me to really say, yeah, this thing is integrated. But why do I use them? Well, they all solve very specific problems, and when you do a fantastic job at that particular problem and there's not a whole lot of need to interact with other devices, then you can take that one issue, that one drawback that it doesn't integrate fully with Home Assistant, and deal with that one for that particular device. I'm always looking for the ones that integrate, and I think some of these device types certainly will integrate, or for example, Yarbo will create that API that will allow the integration, but it just doesn't work right now. Sometimes the best smart home devices really don't integrate with a central hub, and they really do perform exceptionally well at their particular task. So you do make that sacrifice. Let me know in the comments section below which devices you utilize that don't utilize a central hub in your smart home. And if you did like this video, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.